listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good Monday evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia. Coming at you half alive anyway that I can testify to. Somewhere on the universal 2D plane in a 3D illusion. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to this, criticalmassradio.co.uk. I had way more reasons to not come on tonight than I thought I could override, but I got to tell you, nothing gets my goat more than drama and watching the dramas unfold. So I'm going to do the shittiest call out tonight, and like I said, I'm not here to be popular, but I take a lot of responsibility in calling a spade, and I challenge anyone that gets called out to balls up, man up, and come on, let's have a chat and sit at this table. You know, people like David Wilcock, apparently this little wanker, one of the reasons I coined the term fear porn, he just claimed that he coined it. That's a problem with demons. They haven't got original thought in their fucking universe. That's why they're copycats. That's why everything is copyright here, right? They got to copy everything the creator does, because without that, they're useless. And the only illusion they have is trying to convince you that they came up with it, and who cares? That's the whole point of it. Who cares? You know? But anyway, I just see these little clues to beings that are still fast asleep, especially those still dealing in the physical realities, trying to solve a spiritual problem. It's kind of stupid, I think, anyway. Yeah, if you want to solve a spiritual problem, you got to start thinking spiritual. Now, solving physical problems is easy. You just get physical with it. A piece of wood needs moved from here to there. You move it from here to there. Not a whole lot of spiritual testing going on there. Just a state of doing. Now, where do I want to begin? I had so many things I wanted to talk about. I want to mention, a great post again by Arthur Christian. For those that, and I often forget to mention Arthur, one of the few stalwarts that has stood in the same arena as myself regarding the name and the curse that it is. We don't meet completely eye to eye, but there is more than enough in what Arthur does to resonate. He's got some beautiful, beautiful information. I can take it a little deeper, and I'm sure he can take it deeper from his perspective too with some of the stuff I have. There's going to be a lot of that tonight, guys. So bear with me. The coughing, farting, spurting thing. Yeah. Anyway, I am feeling a little better. Let's just say I feel slightly better than yesterday, and that's a good thing. Okay, so there you go. I was able to join Mike on the Gaia Sophia show this morning for a bit. It was just nice to sit and tune in. And this is this is what actually inspired me to knuckle down and try to fortify as much as I could to get on the air tonight. Because I'm not letting this stuff slide. Guys, don't get wrapped up in personality conflicts with others. That's ego. You call a spade, and if the individual that you're saying scuba nose to can't look at you and simply say okay, maybe have a look and give themselves a what, that's just ego. That's why I do get tired of on occasion at this table defensive mechanisms kick in very quickly, and that's just ego. So just keep that in mind and be aware of it for yourself, because there's only so many times that someone can shout scuba nose until you actually get it for yourself. Otherwise, it's basically falling on deaf ears, and it's still an ego that's controlling you. And that is the tricky little bastard, and it is tricky. Sorry. muted out there for half of that, but there you have it. Anyway, I can go across the board with, supposed truthers. Here's a good example of the shit I'm talking about. Toolsforfreedom.com is one of the filthiest fucking sites I've ever come across in terms of tools for freedom, knowledge is power, and it's all for sale. And apparently Mary Croft's book that she gave out freely, that you can download for free online, because Mary made it that way, just like me and Sivan and so many others. Bill Donahue made it free and available to all. These wankers are selling it for $26.95. Isn't that nice? So any of these sites, they have a contact us, so let them know that you want to profit on truth. Well, it's going to cost you 1,000-fold on the other side. So maybe stop doing that. So here's a great big shout-out for toolsforfreedom.com and shill truth-selling bastards that you are. So there you go. There's my recommendation. Anyway, so that's kind of shit that pops across my computer on a daily basis. But like I said, I'm just tired of it, and it's time to call it out. You got all these truth seekers and, truth preachers and all the rest of it they haven't got a clue as to what they're doing until they understand what the name is. Because while you're attached to the name, you're attached to the curse, and that means you're powerless. Okay? You're absolutely a slave. Even this which we're speaking is the language of the slaves. I'm gonna get into that as soon as I can get around to a couple of things that I want to accomplish in put together essay-wise and finish the other one off as well. I'm sorry, been a little bit out of it for the last few days. So, and yes, I've been taking it easy, and I haven't had much of a choice in that matter anyway. But there you go. One sec. Okay. Wow, this is the most I've talked all day. Actually, the most I've talked in 3 days. But there you go. Where are we? There was a bunch of things. Yeah, anyway, what Arthur Christian had posted regarding Santa Bonacci, I totally get it. And again, lose the personalities, guys. Quit getting caught up in the fucking dramas. Oh, don't pick on... You're missing the point. You're not picking on the being. You're picking on the program. Are you going to get pissed off if I call your TV an asshole? Because that's all you're doing. A lot of these troopers are walking around with a fucking TV head on, and I'm calling it out for what it is. It's a program. In the guise of, These are powerful and potent spells we've been under for a long time, and we're coming out of it now. Woe betide the idiots that don't get this. It really is that simple. So don't preach to me about truth and about convenience of a driver's license. Well, I just have it because it's convenient. So saith, Max Egan. Well, Max, time for you to grow a pair, huh? I've had you on the show a couple of times. Don't imagine you'll ever come back. Most people that get a double dose of me typically don't, especially those that can't handle the truth. Because I'll tell you what the name is. The name is a very personal thing. So hang on to it. Who the fuck are you serving? Well, you're serving the slave master and yourself. Yeah, I thought it was, really beneficial for me to get rid of everything 3.5 years ago and got real vocal about it. I put everything on the line. It's nice to be able to jet set and tour here and tour there. I mean, I laugh at these people. What are you actually accomplishing? Well, I'm free because I use the system tools. I'm a slave of the system, so I'm free. Yeah, sure you are. I've got an email. I got to lose this piece of shit website here, toolsforfreedom.com. Bunch of fucking wankers. Yeah, give them a call. Yeah, it's an 800 number. Give them a call and tell them exactly what you think. I got to get to the emails because I got some beauties. I want to talk about the whims that people are having. And this is why I'm really grinding down now on the false truthers. The deceivers, they're probably better known as. And I don't care if they come in the shape of Santo Bonacci or Max Egan or Dave Wilcock or Ben Fulford or Karen Hoods or Heather Tukey Giraffe, whatever the fuck her name is. Okay? Give me a list of names and I'll tell you exactly what I think. I'm kind of known to do that. You don't see me getting this on other shows because, well, God damn it, I'm a tough one to shut down. And I'm sure you guys have have heard some shows that the hosts that I had to deal with, they weren't quite ready for me. They weren't quite ready to have their ego snapped in two and made out for the pussies that they are. You know, the Andrew Bartses, the Sasha Stones. Oh, they're all over the place. Have a look around. The Tammy Peppermints, the Bono's Entertainment. All of them. Geez, Dean, why the fuck are you still in jail? You might want to figure out who you are. Love you guys, but sorry, can't buy into your programs anymore. It's pretty simple. It's so simple. Even a child can get it. If I was to give you something that was going to enslave your soul if you used it, would you use it? Well, the obvious logical answer would be no. Well, that's what your name is. There it is. There's reality spelled out for you. You're not going to find answers outside of yourself. You're not going to, you're going to look real clever and everything, regurgitating somebody else's work. You know, I don't care if it's astrotheology or Egyptology or whatever the case may be. But all you're doing there is regurgitating information, literally, and you're not having a look at it spiritually or anagogically. The truth is there, but you're not going to find it in the literal. The distraction of the literal is exactly what's kept mankind enslaved. Look at all the pretty pictures called Earth and everything else. Let's get all serious and get mad at each other. Because somehow somebody gets offended. That's only the ego that can get offended. Off-ended, you know. That's what the ego likes. It likes complicated or comply, spirit, dead. Comply, dead. Complicated. Which comply with layers, right? With layers, spirit, dead. So that should tell you about getting silent, getting quiet. It's one of the joys of listening to people like Bill Donahue and Savan Bomer. The guys don't mess around. They just get straight to the point. They tell you as it is. And you know there's no agendas there. And if there was, it's just enough caring to get the information out to wake humanity up. And obviously I'm not doing this for the benefit of my health, well-being, in the physical sense. If that were the case, I would never have got started in this. But that's a problem when people get so focused on themselves. You lose sight of the big picture. So the minute you start taking sight of the big picture, what matters for all, Max, lose the license because you're doing that for everybody. Isn't that neat? Look at the mirror on this stuff. Got to tell you. Here we go. Let me see. This one came in from Civ Elizabeth. Okay. This was great. You're going to love this. This is shit I'm talking about. All right. Oh, look, another woman. Come on, guys, grow some. The women can. Hi, Kate. I've been listening to your radio programs every day since December. Wanted to share two funny happenings with another point of me, Hugh. The very same day I decided to run a talk in Stavanger, Norway, about the legal person, some of the facade on the courthouse fell down. And when I realized I didn't have to do one more of the fucking accounting, just unregister my company, and I am not a legal person, so who cares? There's someone that gets it. The accounting company wasn't there anymore. A cleaning service is now in that building, which says it all. Waking up every day laughing. The nightmare is finally over. Always knew something wasn't right and just loved being brave enough to live the truth. Driving license and passport sent back to the owner with a letter. Also sending letters to banks, mayors, police, government, rocking the Norwegian ship on the holy fucking sea, together with a few others. Thank you ever so much for sharing your knowledge. Kiss and a smile, and much love, Siv. And my response was, hey, it's fun when you finally get the click or aha moments. And once people get this, their reality shifts from one of system slavery to pure source essence. It's a great feeling knowing that the Goonies are absolutely powerless to do anything regarding your reality. The door gets slammed on the vampires and their werewolf dogs. And the only thing that needs to be got is the name bullshit curse. Wonderful sharing, and we'll share this on air. People need to hear from others doing the magic. They've heard me enough. LOL. Well, it's me. And she replied with, powerless indeed. When I delivered the passport at the public office, the lady began reading my letter but didn't understand shit, so went to talk with the police a few doors down the corridor. 3 of them came back after 5 minutes, and they didn't seem interested in why I didn't want the passport anymore, only focused on all the problems I would meet without one, how much it would cost me to get a new one. It'll never happen, I said, and left with a big smile. Just love it. Big thanks again, and keep up the good fun. Well, that's all we got to do. That's the joy of this game. It really is that simple. Okay, let me see. There was a couple others here, but let's just keep it to that, because that one pretty much sums up most of the emails I get. It really is that simple, guys, and you're not going to see this until you just see it. And it is so mind-numbingly simple. That's why it's so mind-numbingly difficult to get. It can't be that easy, Kate. Yeah, well, in a physical sense, no. You will find every barrier in the physical realm because they were all placed there for you to run into. But the minute you remove the physical and become the true Sagittarius, the not see the physical, as in to see the spiritual, when you finally rise out of the beast and you can see beyond. Just because you can't see it in the physical doesn't mean it isn't there. And I've used the example of infrared. Anybody catch notice of the infrared today, or the ultraviolet? How about the X-rays and the gamma radiation? Anybody see all that? Oh, it's there. It's just, a few tools are required to get into those frequencies. Because remember, we're trapped in a very limited bandwidth of reality in these human bodies. 5 senses, right? I mean, this is the game of God being not God to the nth degree. But this is how you change your own realities. There was a great little, let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, tell me this stuff isn't fun. I actually had it listed earlier. 1 sec. It's, I haven't checked the garbage can in a few days, so I went to the bin to see what headlines I could transmute, and that's before it's news. The bin, I call it the fear porn garbage can. Where is it? There it is. 1,500-year-old Bible confirms that Jesus Christ was not crucified. Well, yeah, we know. Relax. Boy, they've been playing the backwards card all along, guys. Okay. Vatican in awe. Yeah, awe. Your power's all gone. Awe. Yeah. I need Bill Donahue to say God the way he does. God. That cracks me up. I love the latest one he just put up. Where is it? It's number 25, Change and the Waterman. It's on my Facebook page. I actually opened up a few spots, managed to find some spam contacts in my friends list, and boy, it takes a while to go through that. You can scroll and scroll and scroll, but anyway, I freed up a few spots for anyone interested. Let me see. Yeah, this is so funny. Oh yeah. Boy, not making any money on this one. Eh, Dan? Got enough pop-ups? It's all about commerce. Okay, where are we? before it snoozed, by the serpent. Much to the dismay of the Vatican, an approximately 1,500 to 2,000-year-old Bible was found in Turkey, in the Ethnography Museum of Ankara. I love that, Ankara. Discovered and kept secret in the year 2000, the book contains the Gospel of Barnabas, a disciple of Christ, which shows that Jesus was not crucified, nor was he the Son of God, but a prophet. The book also calls Apostle Paul the impostor. The book also claims that Jesus ascended to heaven alive, and that Judas Iscariot was crucified in his place. Well, see, that ties together nice and neat the allegory of the mirrored opposites, the Christ and the Judas, right? And of course, the Judas has to be the one most trusted. And of course, you're living in a body, that is your Judas, your most trusted. Oh, the body would never steer you wrong. Try again. Okay? So the Christ consciousness is walking around in a Jewish body. So just roll that around your universe for a little bit and see how that feels. I love this. A report by the National Turk says that the Bible was seized from a gang of smugglers in a Mediterranean area operation. The report states the gang was charged with smuggling antiquities, illegal excavations, and the possession of explosives. Well, I tell you, the most explosive thing there was this book. The book itself is valued as high. See, everything's got to be a fucking dollar for these wankers, right? How about this book is priceless and is meant for all? Approximately $28 million. Yeah, that's going to get into everyone's hands, isn't it? No, some rich fucker will buy it up and it'll never be seen again. But anyway, doesn't matter. We've got the headlines. Man, where is the Thieves Guild when you need them? Yeah, so very, very interesting little find. But well, this follows through on what we've talked about all along, and this is why I'm going to be gentle on the Christians and Muslims and Jews alike to the degree that you got fucking duped. Okay, everything that's been taught in your churches, your mosques, and your synagogues is absolute garbage, backward lies. Okay, roll that one around. Oh, and then, of course, the emotions kick in, and then all of a sudden emotions get in there, and what happens next is nothing like a good religion to start a good war, you know? My God is better than your God, and I'm going to kill you to prove it. That's loving. Yeah. Anyway, authenticity. According to reports, experts and religious authorities insist that the book is original. The book itself is written with gold lettering onto loosely tied leather in Aramaic, the language of Jesus. The text maintains a vision similar to Islam, contradicting the New Testament's teachings of Christianity. Jesus also foresees the coming of the Prophet Muhammad, who would found Islam 700 years later. It is believed that during the Council of Nicaea, you want to talk about the criminality of that one, the Catholic Church, we might as well call them the mob, handpicked the Gospels to form the Bible as we know it today, omitting the Gospel of Barnabas, among many others, in favor of the four canonical Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Many biblical texts have begun to surface over time, including those of the Dead Sea and Gnostic Gospels, but this book especially seems to worry the Vatican. Well, it should. You know, when these guys get caught and called out for the lying bastards they've been enslaving humanity for this long, yeah, I don't imagine there's going to be too many happy priests as you know, I see these pitchforks and torches, and I just had this vision of Joan of Arc in reverse, you know. Not something I would do, but whew, hey, again, you get what you wish upon others. What does this mean to Christian-derived religions and their followers? Well, quite a tight spot. The Vatican has asked Turkish authorities to let them examine the contents of the book within the church. Yeah, we want to get our hands on it to fucking destroy it so you never see it again. Now that the book has been found, will they come to accept it and its evidence? Oh, fuck no. Will they deny it altogether? Of course they will, because, you know, that's the problem when you got a really, really cool franchise of enslavement called the Catholic Church that owns Muslim and Jewish and every other religion on this planet. Don't kid yourself. Yeah, they will not go quietly into the night. Call it a Muslim lie, as did the Truth magazine in 2000. Well, of course, something that comes out exposes all the real lies. That's the first thing system does. To many, this book is a beacon of hope that believers soon realize the object of their adoration is arbitrary, and that all text, especially religious text, is subject to interpretation. There you go. It's called allegory, translated to anagogic, so you really get what's going on. So what does this mean to atheists and agnostics and secular thinkers? Personally, who gives a shit? Is the text real? Well, is it there? Fake? Doesn't matter. There is nothing fake or real in this reality. Everything is both the truth and a lie. That's what duality is. You just have to choose which one you want to see, but you have to see both sides first. And how painful is it to look from the eyes of a serial killer? Really, think about that. Spend some time imagining what it's like to be a serial killer and how you would go about doing that. Very, very uncomfortable. But I'll tell you, if you want to catch one, you better get into that headspace and you better control it and you better get neutral on it. Because every level of evil that could be imagined, these entities are capable of. So I just look at it in the mirror and say, well, every benevolent intent is all I'm capable of. And sorry, my royal flesh takes out your pair of dead twos any day of the week. But there you go. Let me see. I don't think... I like this one line. Please don't go poking fun or tossing around the "I told you so." The biggest danger of faith is when people believe what they want to believe, defending against any and all evidence, especially when the evidence revolutionizes their foundation from the ground up. The biggest culprit to that danger is the ego trap, rejecting and criticizing others for being unlike you. Well, for centuries, the defense of blind faith has driven nations to war, violence, discrimination, slavery, and to become the society of automatons that we are today. And for just as long, it has been justified with lies. If you know better, act like it. Thanks for your time. Yeah, absolutely. Great little article. Very happy to find that. So, one sec, clear throat. Oh, yeah, there we go. Anyway, so I don't have an issue calling entities out. And again, I don't care what the TV is called. If it's acting like a TV, well, anyone wants. Here I am. You can show up at this table anytime you want. You want to play house with Katie? Well, come on in. Let's dance. This table's wide open. But you better not bring your bullshit because we've got a big squeegee for that here. It won't be just me you're dealing with. That's the joy of this. You see, we are growing exponentially. The truth is coming out hardcore. And for everyone out there still selling their bullshit in any way, shape, or form, I got to tell you, selling documents for your freedom, really? Well, for this many dollars, we can solve your court problem. No, you can't. They're not interested in the money or the houses or the homes, the cars, the trucks, the businesses. They're not interested in any of that shit. There's only one thing that this entity wants: your soul. I don't know how loud I have to yell that for, from the rooftops or whatever. But you got to be willing to sacrifice your soul to miss this, because that's what you're going to do. And it is more than joyful when I read emails like the one I just read from Civ. That is what gives me hope. And for me to describe the pain I feel when people still don't get this, that are still caught up in the fucking dramas, and they still have to keep going on to defend a position of ego. Turn the fucking TV off. Try the 2 letters. My favorite 2 letters in a conversation. Scuba nose. Okay. I'm going to have a look. Because here's the thing. Whenever you got scuba nose, you couldn't tell. It had to be your dive buddy to tell you. Because you're all wet. You can't feel it. I'm sorry, I won't let anyone walk ashore with scuba nose. That's gross. That's why we took it so lighthearted. Scuba nose. Because y'all got it. Yeah, eagle. Yeah, y'all got it. The only time you hear someone say scuba nose, shut the fuck up. They didn't say it because they felt like it. They said it because they care. Let that sink in. And if I have to be the stirred pot of this planet to piss every fucking truther off to get to this table, I have not a problem in the world doing that. Because I care that much. I don't take any shit personal. That's for the ego. You're not going to see me go off in some hate-filled diatribe like Santo did the other day. What a fucking joke that was. Mars and Leo, it's the same shit over and over. For all I could tell, it was somebody basically asking for the time. Not literally, but in that, what time is it? Oh, you fucking chilled. It's like, what? Anyway, thank Mary for posting that on my Facebook. I had a chance to look at that. And again, that's not the man. That's the program. I mean, seriously, 9 days. You panic. Boy, that's dedication to truth. That's self-serving. Yeah, what's it feel like to have a whole bunch of people around you, Santo? That's the difference between you and I. There was two. And one of those bailed out 2 weeks into it. The most precious being in my universe. So don't fucking cry me a river. You're living in Pussyville. Stand the fuck to post. Or shut up. You're just regurgitating the shit from somebody else anyway. Nothing original. Come on, give me something original to work with here, guys. Same old diatribe over and over and over. Nothing that you can claim as your own. Claimed as your own when you interpret it for yourself. Arthur Christian brought up a lot of great points. Like I said, based on the literal reading of what he posted, there's a little bit that, I could see where it's going to ruffle some feathers. But looking into it deeper, I totally get what Arthur was sharing. See, the difference between me and other people is I don't give a fuck. I don't need anybody to defend me. And I would certainly ask, don't. I'm big enough. I'm tough enough. You want to really help me out in that regard? Invite them to the table. Let's play. Then we'll see what they're made of. The ones that make it to the table and survive, well done. The ones that don't, well, we know what kind of coward they are. And that's really all it boils down to. Fear, the great trap. Well, it's entirely up to you guys. If you want to carry on playing the same old all the time, that's up to you. But I'm done with that, and I'm getting real original real quick. That's why I write as much as I do and look at things the way I do to really sparse it out so I can see what's going on. And I'm not going to get caught up in any dogmas, any codes, anything. I'm going to look at it for what it is. I'm going to feel it out. And the most important thing I can stress is shut up. I cherish my silence so much. So much. If come on in. Let's get this puppy rolling here.
Hey, Kate. I'm just glad you're feeling a bit better. We love you, you know that, don't we? There's a lot of people out there standing shoulder to shoulder with you.
Oh, yeah, I know that. And it's beautiful to watch it. So, I'm telling people, if you're seeing bullshit out there, that's a TV program running. Lose the name attached to it. I mean, if it's a TV program running, it's a rerun, turn it off, walk away. It's really simple. Ninja just jumped in here, too, by the way.
Yeah, hi, everyone. Hi, Kate. Nice to have you back again. On fire.
Oh, yeah.
We love a Katie bitch for rent.
Yeah, just to match the fever, so there you go.
Yeah, there you go. The fever coming out in the fiery speech. Yeah, I love it.
Well, you know me. I'm just tired of people being harmed, and they're doing it to themselves. This is the part that hurts me the most, is knowing what I know, seeing what I'm seeing, and it is literally a breath away, and then it's like, stop. And just a mental note to everybody. That which you are in contract with, any agreements, any contracts of agreement with anyone or anything, you are bound to those in a fractal. Understand this. That's why there's the dot inside the circle. You must be the singular dot inside that circle, a shield of no contract. You must be original. You must be the one. That's what that symbol represents. They can say, well, it means the sun. And yeah, of course it does. It means, oh, we just lost Ninja. It means that you've got to be absolutely pristine. No contracts, no agreements, nothing with anything in the physical. Once you get there, now you can be the neutral observer. Play through the game, obviously. But do not get tied up in the contracts. Got area code 720's chiming in, too. And, oh, by the way, guys, I'm terrible at this. That's BTR listener 029, I believe. Let me just check.
Yeah, 029.
029. And, of course, those that want to call in, 661-467-2401. So there's the shout-out for you, Max, and David, Wilcock, and Karen, and all the rest of you fucking wankers. Okay, that are purporting to be spreading the truth, and all you're spreading is a bunch of bullshit, distraction, and lies. Time to get over it. Boy, you sure picked a good one to tune in, guys. Anyway, 720, what's on your mind?
Hey, been carpet bombing your... I've been carpet bombing all these websites with the Truther movement, with Babylon is Fallen. So hopefully... It's a cancerous growth that metastasized into a big cyst on the top of the pyramid. And by the way, this is Colin.
Colin, yeah.
It's a different number I'm using, so you may not have me dialed in. So I don't know. I've been listening to some of your things. I think you replayed Babylon Has Fallen on Friday, and that was good to re-listen to that.
Well, Amy was on Mike's show this morning and had mentioned that she'd listened to it again on Friday and thought it might be a good idea to make that almost a habit once a week, just to reinforce that. Because, again, I hear from others that, this is how I adjust my course to make sure that I'm getting through what I need to get through. Because, as Amy had said, this can be very difficult for some people to grasp. And she said that particular show answered pretty much every question she would have had. So, it's a profound little document. I mean, that is the summation of 4 years of literal hell, placed into, 3 pages or less. Depends on how big the font is. You can probably put it in one.
Right. Well, it's hopefully waking some people up today. I carpet bombed like 4 or 5 sites with that. Hopefully some of them haven't posted them yet, but I hope that they do. And if they don't, then I'm going to call them on their efficacy of it, because they should be dialed in on this scheme by now. So we'll see.
It's a master key. This is the thing. Everyone's looking for these little keys to open doors that lead nowhere. Here's a master key for you. And, this is the one thing that will set you spiritually free. Once you just got to get the concept. Oh, if I use a name and I have any agreement or emotional attachment to it, I'm a slave, and spiritually I am dead and my soul is forfeit. Yes, that's exactly it. So, just get the concept that, okay, so the legal name was the trap to get my soul. Yes, it was. Well, now that I know that, it's null and void, nunc pro tunc, because that's a fraud, and the fraud revealed is null and void, now for then for now. It's a done deal.
Yes, it is. And did you put up a new essay? I think I might have missed it, but I really want. I can't emphasize this enough, Kate. But if you could actually redo the Phoenician starter kit for a lot of people,
It's funny you mentioned that because I was going to cover that tonight, but you know what? I'll save that for tomorrow night. The Phoenician starter kit is a very profound eye opener for going through it myself. You're absolutely right. So thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, no problem. I'll step down. Anyone else can talk.
I don't know if you listened to Paul's show last night, Kate. It was really, really good. And I just wondering, you remember that? There was an Israeli fella came on quite a while ago, and I haven't heard from him since. I'd love it if he'd, get in touch.
Oh, yeah, we haven't heard from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, I did catch about 20 minutes to half an hour before I started sawing logs. I have my headphones under my pillow so I can listen to stuff when I'm, going to sleep. And it was, from what I caught of it, was beautiful. I knew it would be. I mean, you see, one of the things about the Qabalah and all the rest of that stuff, as bullshitty as it is, you got to figure out. I'm talking in the physical sense here. It's absolute required. In order to understand a mirror, you've got to see both sides of it. So if you want to figure out how you've been tricked and what's being used, there's also the tools to get out of it. So it just depends on how you're looking at it. Are you being subjective or objective? And you'll find the ego can only be subjective. It will only defend itself, and it'll stay in the little because it's very comfortable to look really smart in front of a lot of people. That's one of the joys of Paul. Paul doesn't need that. Paul just is that, and he shares a lot of very profound. And I know I hear people, well, the accent's a bit hard to grasp. That's okay. That doesn't matter. The message still gets through anyway. You see, because one of the things that I'm going to be uncovering the next few days is the slave language that is the Western alphabet, and any of the spoken tongues that we're speaking on this planet. Right? We're not using the higher glyphs. Okay. You see, a picture can be interpreted many ways, but when you put something down the way you intend it, there's no one can redefine that for you because that's a pure intent. And the longer we stay trapped, stay entrapped in somebody else's system, the longer we're under control of it. So for me, it's about decoding all of it and getting rid of it. And we're right there now, guys. So stay the course.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say was if you do need any more time off, he's probably got a lot more information stashed in. He did a really good job holding the fort for you. That's all.
Well, I'll tell you, I might ask him to pop on tomorrow night. I've got, we'll see how I feel, but to do 2 shows tomorrow is, let's just say, I'm not very, optimistic about it. But that being said, something will probably piss me off to get me on air. But anyway, there you go. I love my Fluffy because my Fluffy motivates me. Come on, Kate, get up and call him out. Okay, I'll do it. Because the compassionate. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say the thing with the Scottish language is the more you hear it, the easier it is to understand it.
I love it. It's beautiful. It's musical. It's whimsical, and it goes back to the original accents of the Hebrew or Hebrides, right? These are the original tones. We talked a few nights ago regarding Gaelic as being the only language that demons cannot understand. So I can totally get why they wanted to, knock the piss out of that by killing people for speaking it. And they were doing that quite regularly. As a matter of fact, that great potato famine that everyone thinks killed off so many Irish. I'm sorry, but you don't take a population of an island from 18.5 million down to 4 million with a famine. The Irish survived just fine before potatoes showed up. You remember the potatoes are a New World tuber? They came from North America. Right, that's a North American thing. They're not native to Europe or Ireland or any of these places. So, anyway, just a little historical point. Now, they were run through. They were put to the sword.
Yep, just like Stalin did with the Ukraine, the grain shortages.
Same deal.
Yep.
Anybody else? Jump in, guys.
Hey, good evening. It's Borean.
Borean, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? You feeling better? I hope so.
Yeah, almost good enough to get out and get you a computer, buddy. That's what I was hoping to do today, but it's we'll see. Don't worry.
Appreciate that.
Don't worry.
I just had to chime in about all this. You calling people out, because this is exactly what needs to happen. And you didn't mention the latest one. That's Michael Tellinger, and his candy ass blowing glitter out his anus all over the world. These guys are just morons, and I'm getting sick of them too. And thank you so much for pointing those guys out. And we have another thing going on, in our country here too, with the Bundy Ranch and all that stuff. And what I find, astoundingly ironic through this whole thing, and what I've been posting on some of these websites is quite simply a picture of a Native American with the caption of, "Whose land are you fighting over?" Because if anybody owns any land over here in North America, it's the original, genuine natives of this land here, and it was raped and stolen from them, and here we have, we have the government trying to steal land that they claim, and the morons that are stuck in the government trying to defend it. I mean, it's a lose-lose situation, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead.
Borean, I got to tell you, that's the funniest part of this, is the governments aren't stealing anything.
No.
They're not stealing a fucking thing. Oh, everyone's up in arms. Oh, they're stealing this. No, they're not. You're using the name as a land registered, then it was already given up. Your children were given up. Your cars, your trucks, your homes, your businesses, everything you think you own, you give up. That's what the name does to you. Legal name, legal game, and they will fleece you. That says, a legal name says, vampires welcome, please suck my blood, and if I give you any sort of grief, send your werewolves to beat the fuck out of me. That's what a legal name is. And here's the thing, when you don't have that, now you've got garlic and silver bullets to the infinite degree, and they cannot enter that circle with you as the dot in the middle. That is pure fact.
Got a word for you, Kate. Denizen.
A denizen, like it.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. Would you like to explain it?
Well, Dan, well, go ahead. You go. I'll give you another couple of angles on it.
Right. The Native Indians in America, you want to look at their legal status. They don't have one. They're what's called a denizen. They're in the country, but they don't have a legal person. And that is what proves basically that it's complete fiction and it's all paper shit. That's what a denizen is.
That pretty much describes it. And of course, look at the negativity they attach to all these words, like savage, which to me is beautiful in that it's the saving the truth of consciousness. Save, A-G-E, right? So get original with looking at the sounds differently. I cannot stress enough, and that's why I'm glad Colin brought up the Phoenician starter kit. So I will go back over that tomorrow. I might do it during the day show. But, because I definitely want to get Paul back to go over more of the Qabalah stuff so people get a better understanding of how magic works and how it was subverted and how you can turn it right back over. And it is simply, it is so mind-numbing, guys. It is just your agreement that is required. The contract is made in your mind. It is not made on a piece of paper. It is not made when you shake hands. The decision to do anything is always in your mind. That is where you cut the deals with the universe. So if you flow agreement towards anything that is, let's just say, not very benevolent for you, don't expect benevolence. So be very, very careful and mindful of your contracts. So I don't mind calling people out because I don't have any contracts with them. I don't have any contracts with their bullshit. Yeah, and Mike, just what Borean was saying there about Mike Tellinger. I mean, there's Mr. Schlockfest himself. This guy kind of came out of nowhere and seemed to know a whole lot of stuff about a whole lot of stuff. You know, first he's talking about ancient Africa and the books, and the next thing you know, he's fighting this court case, and that all, well, it went south. Go figure. Now he's running for president with Ubuntu. Oh, the moneyless society. No, I told you. That's proof for you. System doesn't want the money. It wants your soul. And as long as you are in agreement with somebody else's system, somebody else's bullshit, instead of working on your own lock, stock, and barrel. So don't cry to me. Don't whinge at me saying, "Oh, I got treated unfairly." You brought it on yourself. So check your contracts and go back through. Have a look at the things that you would never do again, and those that were involved. And cut. I made it easy for myself. It's standing in the center of the circle of truth, and I just ran a scythe around the outside of me, cutting everything. And what I agree with now is what I agree with only after much deliberation within, i.e. the intuitive, has to feel right before I even think it's right. And here's the beautiful thing. When you lose all of the emotional baggage and shit, all that noise, that distraction of emotion, that's the only thing that's stopping you from hearing your gut. Your gut instinct, your feeling. The emotions will blind you every time. So turn the emotions off. Get objective with things. Stop being subjective to everything. You know, I mean, this is the lock, stock, and barrel bar killer of bar killers. You lose the name and understand what that means. If you're worried about a foreclosure and a house, this, that, and the other, well, you don't have to be. Because the only way that they can enter that circle is if you give them an invitation. So go ahead, pick your legal battles if you want. I mean, there are people that are still dealing with some stuff, and that's fine. But they're getting a better understanding of it. And also, these are the things that keep injecting what we're sharing into the system, basically bleeding it from the inside out and the outside in. And when you get this, you're going to see what it feels like to be untouchable. You're going to be standing in awe at how quickly these goonies run from you. The werewolves can't come near you. That's the bailiffs, the cops and military and all the rest of it. You know, you want to talk about RFID chips and all. Here's a beautiful one. Well, if you got a name, you're going to get one. They can only chip a slave. They can't chip a free soul. So keep that in mind. And I tell you, for the ones that have been chipped so far, they're gone. They're wasted. Because that's a complete override of the internal program. Good luck with that. I don't expect a good outcome there. But there you go. Anyway, we got 770, Mike open, and 5 Lynn, you're in as well. And 757, is that Fabian?
No, Kate, this is Olivia at 757.
Oh, hey, how are ya?
I'm fine. How are you?
A little better than I was, and keeping the fire going is keeping me sit upright. It's a good thing.
Sounds great. I want to respond to the person yesterday. I'm not sure what his name was when he was talking about his mom, and he was trying to make her basically wake up or trying to make people wake up. I just want to respond to trying to make other people wake up is basically killing your own spirit, because no matter what you do, I have people all around me, and no matter what I say to them, it's like they're so ignorant, and that's what I call them, because they are ignoring themselves, and they're so ignorant, there's nothing you can do. So the best thing to do is just in your own mind, in your own consciousness, know that they will wake up somehow, some way, because we came here, and basically my mission here is this tour guide is to conquer, recover, and to guide. And that's what I'm going through right now, because just the fear part of being able to transition is the hardest part. And for me, it's not the hardest part because of myself. It's just because of the people I know that that will basically be left completely behind, because that's what I want to do, and I've already contracted myself to basically just shed everything, because I realize that the bullshit that's here, the things that people are so entrenched into their ego with, it is so sickening that it's so stupid. I mean, to me, all of it's stupid, because we don't realize that we are just a different type of animal, but we're no better than the animals. And more people that, especially people that are asleep, are so stupid. The animals are the wisdom, and the people are the ignorance, and it's just so profound that it seems like they just don't understand that how sweet they are. I mean, they just don't understand.
Yeah, I totally get that. One of the things that people will find the most difficult out of the gate is getting past these things, and it's all because of our absolute compassion for those we love. Of course, they're the ones we want to awaken. Of course, they're the ones we want to embrace, and you would think that because, well, we're family, and you've always counted on me in the past, and now I'm telling you something that is, like real truth, you're, turning your back to me. And that's not an easy. I went through it. Many of us have went through this, and that's not an easy thing to do. But that's something that we all have to go through. That's the crucifixion of ourselves, right? And it's when we can find.
It just with me, it makes me angry because it's like they're laughing at us. I mean, it's like, oh my God, where do you get this shit from? And they don't realize that they're the ones that's being ignorant and ridiculous. And so it gets you to the point where you'll want to, what I do now is just not give anybody a title. So if it be my daughter, my sister, my brother, or whoever it would be, I just don't give them titles anymore. So I don't have expectations of them. And I tell them I don't give them a title anymore because I don't want them to have expectations of me, because they are not, and they don't realize, and I don't want to make them feel stupid, but they're not even on a level where I can even try to have a conversation with them. And I don't want to talk small talk anymore with them, because I realize that their small talk is just programmed. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll see who's laughing the loudest when the punchline comes through, and that's on its way. And, again, that's all the program, and that's the fear. I mean, that's the glee of insanity, the nervous laughter. Get used to it. So, as I've been saying for a very long time, just plant the seed and walk away. I mean, it's funny. Everyone that mattered in my life, everyone, not one of them is here right now.
Hey, that was me that was talking about my mom, and the whole involvement with my brother in this whole thing, and of course, I wasn't really talking waking up my mom for the sake of waking up my mom. Actually, it runs much deeper than that, and of course I understand her role on my yellow brick road more than ever when it comes to my specific story, and she was integral in bringing my brother and I together in this whole thing. But you're right, you can't worry about it's somebody else's walk. It's their own free will choice, and for me, well, that's basically it in a nutshell. You can't worry about them, and here's why: because they are already saved through you. Since you have woken up, you have basically saved everybody that is connected to you as well.
Bingo! I hear alarms going off. Yep.
So you don't even you don't even need to worry about it. All you have to do is just plant the seed, and hopefully they see what you can see, so they can change their life. But even if they don't, they are still basically saved through you, through your truth. They'll be able to see.
Go ahead. And then look at the mirror of that too, right? When we're trying to awaken somebody else, that's a very selfish act, because we want someone to be on the same page as us, right? And it's selfless and selfish at the same time. You just have to look at it from both sides.
And it's my freaking mom too, and that's really why I was trying to explain this. That once you can face your family with this and crucify yourself in front of your family, that is the hardest part of this whole thing to fucking do. And then once you can do that, I mean, come on, standing up to one of these impersonators or cops or any one of these other people that are walking around, it's easy, it's a piece of cake.
It's a walk in the park.
Yeah.
You know, and given the situation and the upbringing you've had with connections through Masonic, et cetera, Phoenix, and all the rest of it, you've got some, and your brother and what have you, you've got a very, very powerful fractal that just by passing the information through is now in its disintegration stage. And that's really as simple as that. Plant the seed and go, take it or leave it. Don't really fucking care. Have a nice day. Move along. It's not like you didn't try.
Exactly. Wash your hands clean. Wash your hands clean of it, you know. And that's what we're talking about when standing in truth. When you see a wrong that is happening that you need to correct, you correct it, and then just you know, smile and walk away. You know, I love like Darren's attitude and Mike's attitude from Hawaii. They're so laid back and have such a you know, a charismatic attitude about the whole thing. That's a good place to be. You know, they actually have no stake in it. When you go and testify in front of somebody and you tell them truth, you know, you have no stake in it anymore because your hands are washed clean of the truth or if the wrong that you've observed, you have washed your hands of it. So there you go.
Yep, and again, the game here is to stay the course, not your concern. The game is to awaken yourself. And Borean said, with regards to anything and everyone that's connected to you, that you choose to be connected to you in this regard from the benevolent compassion, are going to be saved anyway, because that's your compassion and the power of that to pull them through. The rest of the ones, the parasites that have been on me, their souls are forfeit, and they're not they're not going to be here at all. They're out of this realm. They're going back into whatever shithole they came from, whatever we created or whatever's created to have them. Of course, it's a game, but I got to tell you, guys, I am just so tired of this game. I really am.
Hey there. Hi.
Hey,
I thought I'd take the opportunity to jump in. Good to chat with you. It's been a while. I've been sick with you, my dear, since Saturday. I've had a lovely fever. So you're not alone.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. But exactly before you said plant the seed and walk away, it was running through my mind. And because I have had issues with planting the seed and walking away. And I was just fretting over my pot seeds, okay? And to make it short, I it came down to, Lynn, you know, just plant the seed and walk away, because I have needy people, you know, that come into my life and keep coming back. They're repeat offenders. And it's hard for me to go, look, Lynn, they're just siphoning your energy. They recognize that, you know, that you are centered, you're balanced, and you have love within you, and they come to me for that. I mean, it was so hard to let go. However, I have, because it's what's best for me and the collective that I move past that. And so now it's where those that enter my space, you know, look, you're going to hear some truth. Just get over it. That's the way it is. Those that know me accept that. I babble, you know, things that they don't understand, but that's okay. You know, that's just Lynn. And so I did learn to let go through that little thing. I pulled the death card again today. I do pull every day, and every day it's very relevant. And here today we have our wonderful lucky number 13. And I lost my thought, so could you jump in?
That's okay. I just wanted to throw some interesting Phoenician at you guys. You've probably heard the term commissioned officer. Well, let me tell you what it means. Well, let's have a look at the commission officer. Well, commission, one of the Egyptian black, Kemet, commission, and office is ancient Greek for serpent. So that should tell you all you need to know about a commission officer and where these sounds slightly change to carry the same energy. Interesting, eh? Just now you know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the dead Egyptian serpents with a commissioned officer. Cool, huh?
It's mind-blowing. It's just the clues are everywhere, Kate. They're literally right under everybody's noses, and you guys, the way you can rip the language apart, and it's incredible, Kate. It's incredible. Yeah.
It's just slowing down to listen. That's all it is. Everyone, I don't know, can everyone just slow down and say a word really slow and take a word and repronounce it numerous different ways? You know, break it up a little bit, put hyphens in so you have, well, look at the word throat. THRO hyphen AT. Now it's a 2-syllable from a 1-syllable. Scylla, bull. Scylla, which is the many-headed dragon, serpent. You know, Scylla and Charybdis, you know the story. And bull, which is a creation turtle field. So there you go. And that's why the turtle or turtle is the sacred part of being silent within, the wisdom. Just got to slow down on it. That's all. This is not difficult.
No, it's elementary. We need to go back to kindergarten and relearn this shit. Yeah, just the other day, I ripped apart the word report, REPORT, and you can take RE, which is for regarding or pertaining to or to do again. Then you take the word port, and that is to dock, to park a ship, to be brought in. The doctor delivered a baby. You park a ship on a dock. And the question is do you really want to report your ship, your mind, or even worse, to have someone report to you and attempt to dock your mind? Why would you want to be a reporter, or why would you want to be reported to? That's a question I asked.
And in port, on the left is the left side of a ship, right? You're looking at it to the bow. You have to look towards the bow. So port is on the left side. That's your left brain, Canaanite, and the starboard side is the right, or the ritual side of your ship, your mind. Ship means mind. And these allegories are played out in the literal in so many different ways that you very soon, very quickly start going, it is everywhere. And that's what it is. It's seeing the fractal in the fractal in the fractal. That's why there's, one story, one word that has been fractalized into what we have around us. Can you imagine what we'll do with a whole sentence?
Just rip it apart. And hey, even Ninja chimed in with report her, how you're reporting, you're trying to report the creative divine feminine, at the end of the word. And see, it kind of the reason why I even brought...
You're breaking up a bit, Borean.
If you miss...
Oh, yeah, we just lost Borean. Shit. Okay, well, he was breaking up, so hopefully a better signal when he gets back. Again, let's take the word report and turn it into the positive to show its other side. We can neutralize it and take any hidden intentions out of it, so you can choose what you want. Let's go letter by letter. R, Ro, spirit breath. E, 9 in the mirror, consciousness. Po, the seed of life. R again, Ro, and T, which is the law of truth, which is lave or love. So now we have the spirit breath of consciousness and the seed of life of spirit breath for truth, love. So there's a little bit more positive look at it, Again, we got to get out of this dualistic, one thing means only this and one thing means only that. That's been the trap all along, and if you can be led to believe that it only means one thing, then you are caught in the duality. As soon as you see both sides of the coin, in the positive and negative at the same time, that's where the phonics really lays it bare. And I'm doing the Phoenician starter kit, no question. And I'm really going to nail this one home, because it really, this is the key to the game. Anybody else? No. Looks like we got Richie jumping in here.
Hey.
There you are.
On.
Oh, well.
Hey, I just want to say last night was really good. Paul and Ninja, definitely pondered, that 0 point. That was really good. And I enjoy listening to all that stuff. It's my favorite thing to do. It is listening, and Kate, and that's the thing. 99% of me, right, like the 99 red balloons, is definitely on the whole ID name thing, because that's the thing. And my family's getting it, and I don't try to change them at all. You know what I'm saying? I talk with them and communicate with them. You know what I'm saying? But I just be who I am. I mean, they see me. I got my car with my Superman friggin' plates on, right? And my other ride's a bike, and they shake their head. They don't, But today, my sister's boyfriend and my sister's husband's kid, right, don't have a license, and they're caught up in, if they get caught driving, they're going to get in trouble. So I told my sister today, I says, if Henny, gets in trouble or something or needs help, I says, just have him call me. I've told him this before. If they call me and I can talk with them and explain this whole ordeal that's going on with the name game, And so we got talking. She's like, well, what would he do? I says, well, first of all, you lose the name. You just don't give them a name. And she says, that's all you got to do? And I says, yeah, my mom was sitting there. I talked with her a lot about it. And she says, yeah, Kathy, you just don't give them a name. That's it. And I'm like, all right. You guys are starting to get it. Because we've been so conditioned to, because what it is, I've realized and know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that what you're doing when you go to that registry, you're registering your identity, right? You're registering a name to be licensed not to drive. Like you were saying, Kate, the cops are the ones who have the power.
What you're doing with let's clarify the id entity for everyone. The id entity is the body. The body that was captured through the gift or the interfallopian transfer on the birth certificate. So when you agree to be the id entity or identify yourself with that id entity, what you're saying at that point is that I am a slave to you. Beat the fuck out of me, please. And when you do not identify with the id entity or the stolen body, this is how you claim the body, guys, okay? When you don't identify, you heard it on that March 14th show, do you refuse to identify? Fucking right, I'm not in your dead jurisdiction. Go away, dead people, werewolves, bye-bye, woof woof, okay? That's how they did. That's how powerful this is, because that's the circle that you put yourself in when you truly understand this. And then, well, with me, there was nothing they could play with. Expired plates. There was no bins in the car. I didn't give them anything. I'll tell you how desperate these guys got, and I don't know if it really came through with the cops saying, "Oh, you've got gas leaking out of your gas tank. You should come out here and have a look." And I said, "Well, yeah, okay, sure. I already knew, and I got a new tank, by the way. Thank you, Jason. I already knew that, but what that was to see if I would take any command giving away my authority. I just basically said, no, I'm good. I already saw it. Don't worry about it. Actually, I saw it better than you did. I was under the fucking car today. So I'm not going to see it any better than when I was looking at it, on the hoist. Okay? Anyway, but that's the tricks they get up to. They'll try anything. And I know these guys were desperate. I mean, hell, they even showed up the next day, and the cop, when he went in, I found out what he'd asked the young lady in there. Asked, was it okay for me to be parked there? That's it. So that's how powerful this is. Of course, I was okay.
Yeah.
I had a cup of coffee, and these are my friends. Actually, the people that own the land that I was parked on, very close friends of mine. Actually, the owner's son was one of the people that hung out with my band, Athen Rye, back in the 90s. Very close friends. I've known this individual for over 20 years. You know, so yeah, you're gonna mess with that? I don't think so. But again, the universe has everything set up. It's almost magical how everything just seems to turn out exactly the way it's supposed to turn out.
Wow, isn't it? Yeah, that's funny too. The Bible. I told you, Judas was Jesus. Isn't that funny? No, it was Judas who was hung on the cross. Next week they're going to find one and find out that all the disciples were hung because they didn't know who they were, and Jesus was the only one walking around saying, "I told you so." See?
Well, again, the whole thing was Jesus being in the Christ state of mind was a shapeshifter. They could not recognize him, and that's what that's an ethereal. That's a spiritual. It's not like the body. It was
right.
They could not see him.
Right.
That's what is the name of that movie? The Celestine Prophecies gives a beautiful example of that.
Yeah, the book. Yeah, I read a chapter of it, and that was it. I get bored reading quick, but yeah,
the movie is actually very well done. And I would recommend anyone. I actually got it in my computer. It's a free download. Celestine Prophecies. Just Google it and you'll find it. And have a look at that. And this is the kind of shit I'm talking about. And the only time that their walls fell down was when they had fear. You'll see that at the end. But up until that point, they could not be seen. That's why Jesus was had to be kissed to be seen.
Yeah.
Hey, Borean, we got you back, my friend. And,
all right, am I back in?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And we got 661. I never know who that is calling in, but that's a standard number.
Well, I'll take a guess.
Oh,
that's your number.
Got a bit of noise coming from Borean's phone. 1 sec.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's double checking here. Yeah, just give it a sec, Borean. I'll open your mic again. Hit 1 so you're at the top of the list, so I don't have to keep scrolling up and down. Please. And then I'll get your mic open. Bob, good to have you.
Good morning, Kate. How you feeling, darling?
Oh, like death warmed over, but yeah, still normal. I'm gonna mute you for a bit, Borean. Sorry. Oh, that's just crazy. It sounds like a hurricane.
Yeah, wild and woolly over there. I've actually come today with a conscious intention. Well, you know, how grown up is that?
Very good.
Yeah, I'd like to sow a seed today, Kate. That it feels really nice and warm with me. I am aware of. Well, you've often said, do not contract, do not consent, do not comply, and that, I just love all that sort of stuff. But I'd like to add another C to the pot. And that C would be, do not contribute. You've probably heard me talk about in the past my philosophy of to stop feeding the beast. And what that means for me, just in my own life, I look at simple things that I can do that are actually joyful, that actually stops feeding the beast and stops giving energy to the beast. And there's a guy looking for a computer or something, which sort of sparked this thing. And this is something that I've done, and anybody can do. On my computer, I've got about a 5 or 6 year old laptop, and I'm running Linux, which is open source. And I've been running Linux exclusively now for at least 10 years. And just by, switching from Microsoft or Apple, I'm no longer feeding that corporate beast, but just enjoying the benefits of a beautiful global community that produces these operating systems for free for everybody to use. So the seed I would like to sow is anybody listening, just think of ways that you can actually stop feeding the beast. And that's the seed I'd like to sow. And if anybody wants any help with it, well, I'm always available. And the other thing I'd like to say, Kate, is, if you ever do need anybody to share the load, I'm willing to chip in. You pretty much know where I stand, and all the group work I've done with lots of people in my life. I've used the talking stick exclusively to facilitate those arenas. So, if you do need a hand, I'm here. I'll gladly give my time and my attention to this beautiful venture. So, I'll shut up now. Thanks.
All good, Bob. Just great to hear from you. And, of course, Barnaby, I'm going to try Borean's mic again, see what it's like. And, that's a little better. It usually calms down. Yeah, that's better. And I have the Witness 988 in here as well. So I'm just like, everyone put their hand up. Your mics are open. So help me out here. It actually hurts to talk. So
I just wanted to comment on what Bob was saying there, Bob, about Linux and open source and getting off the, stop contributing. And you're right. And I think what we need to do is Katie might yell and scream at me right now, but we need to get her off Blog Talk Radio and get her on an underground radio station here where she is even completely off the grid, so to speak. And I'm coming to you live right now myself with nothing. The only thing that I actually use money for once in a while that I'm guilty of is just putting gas in my truck. That's it. Other than that, I'm bone dry. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, was that Borean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Borean, the laptop I'm using, I found in the bin at the sailing club. I just needed to clean the RAM connection, and I say it's about 5 years old, and I'm running Linux Mint, and it's as fast as all the modern day computers because the Linux operating system is so lean and mean. So, hey, works for me.
That's beautiful. What you need to do is find some of your friends that have an underground server connection to the internet, so we can get Katie on her own server, so we can get this show on its own server and out of the system completely. Just something to think about, if you can, and I will too. I've got friends too, and I'll put the word out too. So just something to think about.
In Australia at the moment is a big false campaign broadcasting the new national broadband network. It's everywhere. And it's going to be mega fast and rah, but it's all bullshit because I just went to the website and they've got this great big censorship list already, so for anybody that signs up for the National Broadband Network is signing away their freedom of speech because they're just signing up for censorship. But I believe there's a Brazilian guy that's trying to start a total open source global internet network. So, the truth will out and love will prevail. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Hello?
And me? Yeah, there you are. I heard you jump in. Go ahead.
Hey, Kate. Just want to let you guys, I answer the sound, Brady. I've been listening to you for, months. And I listen to shows over and over and over, and just reinforcement. I just want to let you know that the reinforcement, I know it sounds like you're saying the same things over and over, but we've all been programmed, and I'm trying to deprogram. And I finally think I'm where I need to be. And I have one thing that I would like you to go over again with me is motu proprio. Can you please explain that to me again?
The motu proprio. That is something done of the highest. It's the highest covenant. It's coming directly from you. So when Pope Frankie decided to do the motu proprio, again, these are the things that you take upon yourself to redefine them for yourself. But let's have a look at the word M-O, modus operandi. So let's take it. You'll hear it in the phonics. I extended it, motu proprio toto genere. And I covered this, so it's been a while here, but I'll go through it again. Again, break things down, guys. There are no rules when you're using all the rules. That's the irony of this, is I'm using every rule in the book against itself. I can make a letter sound what it wants. I can put whatever. I don't know about you, but when I said motu proprio, did you see the slash between the M and O? See, this is why the spoken is so powerful. And unless you're explaining it to the most literal nth degree, it can be presumed to be anything the listener or whoever you're talking. That's how the courts have been using the phonics tricks against us. Okay, so modus operandi, T, which is a Phoenician letter, which is a circle with an X in it. As I call it, the crosshairs of truth. That's what it means, truth. And U, which is the international symbol for electricity, which is the masculine intent. So we have the modus operandi of truth with intent, pro, for, pre, before, creation, for before creation. So what you're doing is you're actually pre-sending something with a motu proprio. Toto, or to, genre, well, we have the sound of the toe. Well, it's definitely a Pisces sort of thing, and it's something that cops love to do to steal your car. They love their tow trucks. But anyway, yeah. But there you have the truth of creation and the truth of creation. Toto genre means in one's full character. It means body and soul. And you cannot act in a toto genre position if you have a legal name, because only half of you. Remember, it's Dorothy and Toto. These are very real things, and this is the part that people have had the hardest time getting. I think it's quite comical that it is so blatantly obvious once you start reading the fractals. Dorothy, or the door of Theos, door of God, in one's full character. That's what happens when you bring Dorothy and Toto together. That's Dorothy is the spirit, the soul, and your body is now in full character. You bring in both aspects. Jean, or let me see. I would rather use J there than the G, but because the G is a hex, right? Let me see. I have to go back to my notes on it. My brain is a bit fried right now, guys. But I think the most important part is a motu proprio. It says everything you need to, but you've got to get your full character back. That's it.
So,
and you can't.
So basically, if you're, say these goons, you tell them I ain't got no name, and they want to take you down there and test you. You let the universe test you. Do you use motu proprio so they know?
No. You don't have to. Again, these are all just allegorical clues to finding who you truly are. Once you know that you're not the legal name, once you know this,
right? And
it's as simple as, sorry, I don't invite vampires and werewolves to my home. Basically, it's saying, fuck off. Okay? Get out of my universe. The only way they can walk into your castle, my friend, is if you give them the key, the password to your reality, and the password has been trapped in the name. It's that simple. And so, once you release that, you've got it. You're free, and they'll pull their little fear porn stunts and the rest of it.
Right.
But it's all bullshit. This is why I go ahead.
I'm really close to doing the license plate off the car, ripping the bins off. The one thing I'm worried about is I still have a bank account. That's all I got. I just got a bank account.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Again,
that's all I need to know.
You have to get rid of you have to get rid of the concept of the bank account. Okay? Only one had to clear themselves of everything. That's already been done. I did that. Okay? What you have to do is get the concept of now you're not playing the game to win in the commerce. Oh my God, I'm wealthy and I'm looking for money. No, you've got a completely different perspective on it now. If that is what you have in order to survive, then by all means. I've constantly told people, do only that which you are comfortable and capable of doing, and you will get to a point, I hit these points very quickly, where you just cannot tolerate any sense of dishonor at all. And that's not to say that you're being dishonorable. What I'm saying here is you've got to get the concept of only what you need. Now, as far as the plates and everything else, I just leave the plates on there, let them expire, pop the VINs out. Who cares? Because I'll tell you, with an expired plate, it means you're a dead relative. They can't approach the dead. And they can't even touch them because they're plates. The only time they can take plates is when they're alive.
Well, that's good. That's only 2 months away.
Yeah, so, again, take your time. I mean, I ran with plates. Of course, it wasn't nothing registered to me. This was, like I said, I loved it when the engine went a year and a half ago. People, I'll just get another car, Kate. I said, yeah, that's great. Tell you what, go get one without a name. Oh. Yeah, okay. That's the trick. So, and this is my 13th Honda Civic. And now the system knows the plates and who they're attached to. And I drive with a great big grin on my face. Here I am. You can't play with me. And the other side of it, I don't want to trespass on the demon's free will choice to if people want to remain ignorant and get harvested. I'm not going to trespass on that. I'm remaining completely neutral. No, it's not what I want. But at the same time, I'm not going to create a stir and create problems for myself. That's another contract I don't want. So, yeah, just let them expire. If you want to put something else on it, that's fine. I mean, I've seen some videos of people putting on, different legislation and whatever. And I'm thinking, fuck, grow up, guys, because, these kinds of things are really going to fall quickly if they're not falling already. As we peel back layers, the system's hand is forced at every turn. This is why these aha moments are so critical. Because when we figure something out, shit changes, like, really fast. And the things that people used to stand behind, like, 16th Amendment and all the rest of this crap, it's useless. I had one guy in the States that was heavily into, he had done up all the paperwork regarding Constitution and had been left alone for 11 years. And within 3 or 4 days of my releasing the I Who Shall Not Be Legally Named, this guy got pulled over. And they left him alone up to that point. That's the kind of power that the mind has. When you put the concepts, that's what changes the reality. So that which used to protect this guy was nulled and voided as soon as the I Who Shall Not Be Legally Named went out. It completely destroyed any legal defense. I mean, this is exactly why Dean's still in jail. He's still trying to play the legal defense. That's why I laugh at people like Tammy Peppermint and the rest of these wankers that are still trying the legal game. Me, I just like poking emails at these guys, I got something up my sleeve for the next couple of days. I'm still working it through, but I think it's going to be quite fun. You know how they love to, charge people with names and whatnot, especially when they have a witness.
Kate, I got a good idea for a lot of people. I just did this. I went into the Phoenician kit and I reconfigured my name using that kit. And my name's Colin. So it starts with the Co.
Mm-hmm.
The note of love, the middle C is 528 hertz, or the 9 of Yang, of consciousness, the unconditional love, where creation open allows all things in and out equally. The C, say, said, say, etc., creation of itself made to manifest. the Trinity at 3 position. Now, O is the 15th letter of that. Now, I don't know if you want to combine the two as CO and leave it at open O, because that's my name, but I went down to O as well, which is the 15th letter, the symbol of creation, the ovum of all-encompassing void of feminine creative magic of Isis, or is. I say Isis. The L, 12th letter, the EL, the creation made to manifest in the delta of the trinity of a triangle L. L is the right angle of Ra, the right ascendant, or the square of the Masonic mother sound. I, the one below, to the dot, circle above the say-L-F or SE-ELF. SE cells, sails, or seals, or sails, as in a sail. The I is 9, and thus consciousness itself, in manifesting the form of one half of the picture of reality. And then N, the infinite made mind. It is the letter used as a possessive claim to all adjoining letters like seen or CN, creation is mine, or T hyphen N as in 10. Love is mine, used in the form of the nth degree, where N makes TH Theos or God mine to identify. The 14th letter reverting to the 5, which again shows consciousness. Now, when you use all these numbers, I was born April 9th. And there's 9999999 up and down, and wow.
All right. And you got the 13 going on there too. Now, there's someone that knows Phoenician, and you see the difference when you can start digging into what the sounds and the symbols mean when you define them in whatever way you want to define them. Now it's your reality.
Right. 99 red balloons too there.
Right. It's just
this is the magic.
You can, and sorry, but if you go to 14 and the 5, if you subtract 5 from 14, that's another 9. So it's just bombardment of 9s there, of yang, So really cool shit.
Oh, absolutely. I just got to do a shout out here, guys, because I'm rolling out in 20 minutes here, actually less. I just want to do a great big thank you, Paul Giovanni and the crew at criticalmassradio.co.uk. Everything everyone's doing to keep the table going, and that includes, more importantly, just being here, whatever means. This is all we got to do with the intent out, and thank you to everyone. You're all co-hosts here. That's what this table is all about. So I think tomorrow night the Phoenician Starter Kit is going to be top on the list, but Colin, well done. Even look at CO, and you have, there's your commanding officer. Just let's have a look at the CO. Now we have C, which is the 3rd letter, and O, which is the 15th. Put those together, and you have 18, which is consciousness itself.
Yeah,
so that's
1 and 8 is 9.
Yeah, the duality consciousness, right? So there are many ways to break these things down, but you'll find very quickly how everything resorts back to consciousness. And you'll have, well, if you're anything like me, you'll have jaw-dropping moment after jaw-dropping moment, and a lot of giggling going on, and a lot of oh my god moments, oh my me moments, as I like to call them, ohms. But yeah.
Hey, the word I liked was the crucify, right? Everyone's, crucify, it's so bad. But I take it, create my own word with it, right? With a crew that is taking the sci-fi, science fiction look at the literal and turning it upside down and spinning it on its head, drop-kicking it as it turns into a boomerang, comes back to us, and just literally transforming everything. And you know what, Kate, too, that's why, like I'm saying, like when you put that out there, literally, within that unified one consciousness, it affected everything. And that's the power that each of us have when you do that. That's why, like, when I was talking to you about with the Judas and Jesus thing, is that we are there's only now, but there's people in the past, this fractal friggin' universe we live in, that are literally, say, living there. Well, they're now, or the future, they're now. So this voice that we have travels through time and space and all this joined together stuff. That's why when we say stuff or resonate and really bring that to that pure creation part of our consciousness, that's why you saw that. We see things pop up as if it was done, right? They get the carbon dating out as if it was done this many thousand years ago. Well, in a literal sense, it was probably just friggin' written 2 days ago, right? And then it popped up into our existence as if it happened then, or vice versa. See, that's the power that we wield. So we're not only transforming this world in this period of time, we're transforming the friggin' other dimensions within that period of now. That's the strength and power that we.
What the Mayans were trying to illustrate was there are infinite parallel realities all happening now. That's why you take the 9 levels of the Mayan pyramid and what they represent. There's a great diagram on it, starting at where it's single-celled organisms and bacteria, whatever, all the way up to the higher consciousness. And that is the phase that at some point, or actually all points of that pyramid exist now. There are single-celled organisms and what have you, and there are higher states of consciousness. And it's only those that achieve the higher states of consciousness. Bill, the little video, is only 22 minutes long. The latest one he put out, what was it called again? Anyways, number 25, Change and the Waterman. He sums it up very nicely again. That's why, I ever need a quiet time zone, I just tune into Bill. It's all good. Actually, I had someone write me about the interview I did with Donahue, and was wondering, I heard your interview with Bill Donahue. Who was the one that actually interviewed him? And this was someone that didn't know my voice lower than boobs would indicate, sort of thing. So, anyways, it was cute. And I know it's very confusing for people, but that's an outside the box moment for anybody, and that's kind of the joy of being the free key of nature, because that's a beautiful wake up call.
Free key, the free key. See, that's smashing, beautiful. And the other thing too, Kate, that's why I do a lot of writing, man. I'm a scribe right now, writing shit. Is that your writings too, right? Could literally, in a sense, end up right in one of these fractal, other parallel places. Your writings could be being discovered right now, and they're digging them up, saying, "Oh yeah, this was done 2,000 years ago. We found the writings of Kate, right?" And they literally think everything's in the past, like oh yeah, we dug these up, and we're in a sense with so these past people, in a sense, right, could flip the switch back with these backwards ass words that we're delivering here. It's just people are scratching their head, going, "What the fuck?"
Hey, people need to grab this concept that your thoughts and your spiritual creative intent happens first. That's where creation begins. Everything in the physical is in the past. It has already happened. It's a reflection of the light you created in the spiritual realm, and people need to grasp this concept. And I've been kind of having these conversations with people on my Facebook page about just even astrology, and I'm telling them to be careful and not to look up into the sky for your future, because you're looking in the past. And I understand of how astrology and how we're all connected with it. But by God, we are astrology. We are the 12 signs within our bodies, within us. It is us. And then what you see in the outside, that is what we are projecting out. It's not. It's everybody says as above, so below, but they're getting confused. It's not as above the planets. What happens with the planets is what happens to us. No. we're making the planets move with our spiritual creative intent. So when they're saying as above, so below, it's talking about the as above Christ consciousness will be as below and will follow. And what your higher mind does is what your physical body is going to do, henceforth what your whole entire world is going to be, henceforth what the universe is around you.
Yeah, so I just like to suggest to people to stop using shitty building blocks that were tainted before you got them and start creating your own. And the only way you're going to do that is to get original in your thinking and do not comply with anything. Do not comply with layer. Do not parse out in pieces, because that's what's happened to us all through our look at the connections that the name had to yourself and how many contracts were put in place. Those are all threads that are simply nullified. You're standing in the center of that wheel, the spoken wheel. What you got to do is cut all the spokes and create the new wheel that no one can get into.
Yeah. Hey, well, the other thing too, right, is the so above, so below, but like, is it's so within, as within is it's without. I mean, we're presently creating, I guess you could say, the past. Our consciousness is now, but that's why I always say I'm in between the mirrors, or I'm actually in between the present and the past. You see?
This is. Richard, this is one
but
of the things.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right. Let me just clarify, okay? Because I hear people say as within, so without, as above, so below, and very rarely do I hear it referenced in the spiritual sense of what it's meant. And I would urge everyone to at least read the Qabalah if you haven't read the Emerald Tablets of Thought. Again, keep in mind that these are the clues to get out of the trap, not to stay in it. Okay? So understand that. The as below is you in the physical body. The as above is the spiritual. And what you decide within your physical, that's your as below, is going to be as above. You change in the spiritual realms. That's where you shift your lateral timeline in these infinite parallel realities that are all occurring right now. We have the illusion that they've all happened at different times. That's we can have this game, and that's, to me, the original thought of the trap, which gives the concept of sustained time, which is just continuous moments of now, like a movie, frame by frame. We only see it 24 frames per second. Reality, in the God sense, is coming at you 63 trillion frames per second. You're not seeing the whole picture, if you know what I'm saying. So this is why it's so very hard to see the unseen. So keep it as simple as you can, and I'm saying this to everybody. Keep this as simple as you can, because it's easy to complicate, and that's exactly what happens when the ego starts to grab it. And the ego will go after everything that's got an intellectual thing about it. The thinking, the mind, is the thing that is the demon. That's the of me. And as long as the mind has got lots of distractions happening around it, and lots of reasons to get involved in the game emotionally or otherwise, that's going to keep you away from the most important thing in the universe, and that's you. So start dreaming a little. Stop buying the old and start dreaming the new. And don't put money in the way of anything. If you need something, then just see it. And the means will appear. And it is magic.
Let me add to something.
Okay.
This is Richard in Atlanta. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, hey, Richard. How are you? Good to hear you, my friend.
Hey.
Good. Same here. Is my mic good to you? Can you hear me good?
Loud and clear, my friend.
Okay, you were talking about a spoked wheel. All right, I have good memory of what's going on when I'm in the spirit world. And it's basically that very same thing. If you think of a disc, like a table, and it has 12, like a clock. It has 12 positions on it, each one having a field like an hour hand. You're standing in the middle of that wheel. And at each one of those the numbers on the clock, you have what I would call a lord or a overseer, a landlord maybe, and each one of those fields have energy in them, and that energy has a data packet of information. So let's say in my case, what I'm doing is I'm actually building a world. That's why I'm a carpenter, because I need to know the three-dimensional geometry. Okay, so I want to take energy from field 9, right, and I need that packet of information. So when I extract that energy up and start laying my grid, and the reason why I guess I'm on Earth is because I love how Gaia looks. I'm using her beaches, I'm using her canyons, I'm using her mountains, everything that she's done. I'm just simply borrowing those formats. So I go at it. Let's say I want to take out of field 9. Well, whatever I take out of there, that Lord, that overseer, will allow me to take that energy, but I got to replace it. So what I do is I come into the physical world, and I go out and do what I do. I do, remodeling and repair for people, and then every little thing I can do free of charge, like Robin Hood, like I can put flowers on the old folks' porch and say, have a nice day, or leave candy for a kid or something like that. Anything you can do that will generate happiness in someone, then that's flowing more positive energy up into those channels. So everything you do down here, whether it be negative or positive, is feeding that energy field. But it's better to go, it's like Jesus said, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. The more joy you can bring to a person without taking credit for it, because that's a deduction. Excuse me. See, if you want, you're going to get credit, but you're also going to get a withdrawal if you do it for your own vain reasons. You know what I'm saying? If you'll just simply do it, you're putting money into that. You're putting, well, I shouldn't say money. You're putting credit into that energy field, so that when you go back into the spirit world, that energy is flowing up, and those lords are replaced with energy, and they will allow more energy to come your way. So either way, positive or negative, you are feeding the field, but it's better to feed it in a positive form.
You know what the beautiful thing? You know what the beautiful thing about that whole thing is?
I love that. That was beautiful.
When you do that, when you power yourself up, you're powering everybody up that is in agreement with you, that is on your same wavelength, that is on your same vibration. When you all stand in truth, people out there, and you stand in goodness, you power us all up. We all get powered up. And same thing goes with the negative nature, just like you're describing. You standing up for yourself, you're standing up for everybody. Just wanted to throw that out. Go ahead.
Yeah,
okay,
I just wanted to say
back there. Let me add one more thing there, Richie, and I'll hand over. One thing I find is that the lords, they like to be entertained, So when you're pulling energy from them, their eyes get big, they get these expressions on their face, it's drama. And they all, it's like they're entertained by what you're doing, So when you come down here, if you'll be, like a character, if you'll, listen to what people say and try to brighten their day in whatever way you can. I could give you example after example, but I don't want to go into all of it. Just listen to what people say and then surprise them. Give them something good, give them something sweet, and not, like I say, just leave it for them. You can take credit. You can give a girl a flower and stuff like that. It's no big deal. But the more of a character, the more creative you are, the more inspirational you are, the more joy they get, the Lords get, and they'll actually start assisting you in both ways, in spirit and physical. They'll send you stuff, and all that good stuff. They just want to work with you, really. And, as long as they see you, just like you like a good character in a movie, they like you being a good character. They like you being spontaneous, creative, mischief. You know what I'm saying? They like the Robin Hood kind of character. They like the anything you can do to make them giggle, giggle or chuckle or whatever you can do to entertain them. They will enhance your life for you. They will enhance that. They'll give you a greater push of energy. So, and it's really what it is. They want you to be a star. I mean, man, they really do. They love a good star,
Yeah,
so entertain them,
But you got to earn it.
Smashing.
And just letting you guys know, we got a minute and a half left here. I did want to make one final comment with regards to here's the Modern Knowledge Tour 2014. Richard Nolan, Michael Tellinger, Stanton Friedman, Carrie Lynn Cassidy, the fucking list of fear porners. Linda Moulton Howe, how about that? Grant Cameron, I don't know who that is. Doctor, apparently I need a fucking title, Carmen Boulter, probably talking about some fear porn shit, and Jim Mars and Santos. That's a who's who of fucking fear porn. Love it.
Where's Alex Jones and David Icke?
Oh, well, Alex is an easy gimme, but anyway, just we got like 40 seconds left here, guys. So just a quick comment or two, because I wanted to be off the air about 2 hours ago.
I'm bailing out, you guys. Have a good night, Katie. Thanks for coming back on the air. I know you're not feeling all that great. I'm starting to feel kind of sick myself, but hopefully not. Knock on wood or whatever. And I love you all. And
right.
Stand your post, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love you all too.
Yeah. I just want to say we're so intelligent. Like our consciousness, we're highly, highly intelligent beings, and that's how I look at everyone. I don't care what anyone thinks about themselves. I always treat them as if they're the most intelligent being in all of existence, because they are, That's the way I see it. And the thing is, what I love is, I love being where I'm at always. And we made the impossible possible. That's the way I look at it. We took what was impossible and made it possible. I mean, think about it. We exist. And I love what Richard was saying about that. Yeah, man, we are we're characters. We're characters in an eternal play that we direct, script, and keep this momentum flowing.
Absolutely. That was the longest 40 seconds I've ever experienced. Anyway, guys, much love to everybody. I appreciate it.
Thanks, all. Good night.
Good night.
Right.
It's all good. I love you guys. We'll catch you tomorrow. Remember, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard for the afternoon show, and 9 Eastern Standard Time for the normal table. We'll cover some funky shit and get some stuff done. Much love to everybody.
Absolutely.
You're listening to Kate Of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Time for you to grow a pair, huh? I've had you on the show a couple of times. Don't imagine they'll ever come back. Most people that get a double dose of me typically don't, especially those that can't handle the truth. Because I'll tell you what the name is. The name is a very personal thing. So hang on to it. Who the fuck are you serving? Well, you're serving the slave master and yourself. Yeah, I thought it was, really beneficial for me to get rid of everything 3.5 years ago and got real vocal about it. I put everything on the line. It's nice to be able to jet set and tour here and tour there. I mean, I laugh at these people. What are you actually accomplishing? Well, I'm free because I use the system tools. I'm a slave of the system, so I'm free. Yeah, sure you are. I've got an email. I got to lose this piece of shit website here, toolsforfreedom.com. Bunch of fucking wankers. Yeah, give them a call. Yeah, it's an 800 number. Give them a call and tell them exactly what you think. I got to get to the emails because I got some beauties. I want to talk about the wins that people are having. And this is why I'm really grinding down now on the false truthers. The deceivers, they're probably better known as. And I don't care if they come in the shape of Santo Bonacci or Max Egan or Dave Wilcock or Ben Fulford or Karen Hoods or Heather Tukey Jaffa Giraffe, whatever the fuck her name is. Okay? Give me a list of names and I'll tell you exactly what I think. I'm kind of known to do that. You don't see me getting this on to other shows because, well, God damn it, I'm a tough one to shut down. And I'm sure you guys have have heard some shows that the hosts that I had to deal with, they weren't quite ready for me. They weren't quite ready to have their ego snapped in two and made out for the pussies that they are. You know, the Andrew Bartzes, the Sasha Stones. Oh, they're all over the place. Have a look around. The Tammy Peppermints, the Bono's Entertainment. All of them. Geez, Dean, why the fuck are you still in jail? You might want to figure out who you are. Love you guys, but sorry, can't buy into your programs anymore. It's pretty simple. It's so simple. Even a child can get it. If I was to give you something that was going to enslave your soul if you used it, would you use it? Well, the obvious logical answer would be no. Well, that's what your name is. There it is. There's reality spelled out for you. You're not going to find answers outside of yourself. You're not going to, you're going to look real clever and everything, regurgitating somebody else's work. You know, I don't care if it's astrotheology or Egyptology or whatever the case may be. But all you're doing there is regurgitating information, literally, and you're not having a look at it spiritually or anagogically. The truth is there, but you're not going to find it in the literal. The distraction of the literal is exactly what's kept mankind enslaved. Look at all the pretty pictures called Earth and everything else. Let's get all serious and get mad at each other. Because somehow somebody gets offended. That's only the ego that can get offended. Off-ended, you know. That's what the ego likes. It likes complicated or comply, spirit, dead. Comply, ka, dead. Complicated. Which comply with layers, right? With layers, spirit, dead. So that should tell you about getting silent, getting quiet. It's one of the joys of listening to people like Bill Donahue and Savan Bomer. The guys don't mess around. They just get straight to the point. They tell you as it is. And you know there's no agendas there. And if there was, it's just enough caring to get the information out to wake humanity up. And obviously I'm not doing this for the benefit of my health, well-being, in the physical sense. If that were the case, I would never have got started in this. But that's a problem when people get so focused on themselves. You lose sight of the big picture. So the minute you start taking sight of the big picture, what matters for all, Max, lose the license because you're doing that for everybody. Isn't that neat? Look at the mirror on this stuff. Gotta tell you. Here we go. Let me see. This one came in from Civ Elizabeth. Okay. This was great. You're going to love this. This is the shit I'm talking about. All right. Oh, look, another woman. Come on, guys, grow some. The women can. Hi, Kate. I've been listening to your radio programs every day since December. Wanted to share 2 funny happenings with another point of me, Hugh. The very same day I decided to run a talk in Stavanger, Norway, about the legal person, some of the facade on the courthouse fell down. And when I realized I didn't have to do one more of the fucking accounting, just unregister my company, and I am not a legal person, so who cares? There's someone that gets it. The accounting company wasn't there anymore. A cleaning service is now in that building, which says it all. Waking up every day laughing. The nightmare is finally over. Always knew something wasn't right, and just loved being brave enough to live the truth. Driving license and passport sent back to the owner with a letter. Also sending letters to banks, mayors, police, government, rocking the Norwegian ship on the holy fucking sea, together with a few others. Thank you ever so much for sharing your knowledge. Kiss and a smile, and much love, Siv. And my response was, hey, it's fun when you finally get the click or aha moments. And once people get this, their reality shifts from one of system slavery to pure source essence. It's a great feeling knowing that the Goonies are absolutely powerless to do anything regarding your reality. The door gets slammed on the vampires and their werewolf dogs. And the only thing that needs to be got is the name bullshit curse. Wonderful sharing, and we'll share this on air. People need to hear from others doing the magic. They've heard me enough. LOL. Well, it's me. And she replied with, powerless indeed. When I delivered the passport at the public office, the lady began reading my letter but didn't understand shit, so went to talk with the police a few doors down the corridor. 3 of them came back after 5 minutes, and they didn't seem interested in why I didn't want the passport anymore, only focused on all the problems I would meet without one, how much it would cost me to get a new one. Will never happen, I said, and left with a big smile. Just love it. Big thanks again, and keep up the good fun. Well, that's all we got to do. That's the joy of this game. It really is that simple. Okay, let me see. There was a couple others here, but let's just keep it to that, because that one pretty much sums up most of the emails I get. It really is that simple, guys, and you're not going to see this until you just see it. And it is so mind-numbingly simple. That's why it's so mind-numbingly difficult to get. It can't be that easy, Kate. Yeah, well, in a physical sense.
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good Monday evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia. Coming at you half alive anyway that I can testify to. Somewhere on the universal 2D plane in a 3D illusion. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to this, criticalmassradio.co.uk. I had way more reasons to not come on tonight than I thought I could override, but I got to tell you, nothing gets my goat more than drama and watching the dramas unfold. So I'm going to do the shittiot call out tonight, and like I said, I'm not here to be popular, but I take a lot of responsibility in calling a spade, and I challenge anyone that gets called out to balls up, man up, and come on, let's have a chat and sit at this table. You know, people like David Wilcock, apparently this little wanker, one of the reasons I coined the term fear porn, he just claimed that he coined it. That's a problem with demons. They haven't got original thought in their fucking universe. That's why they're copycats. That's why everything is copyright here, right? They got to copy everything the creator does, because without that, they're useless. And the only illusion they have is trying to convince you that they came up with it, and who cares? That's the whole point of it. Who cares? You know? But anyway, I just see these little clues to beings that are still fast asleep, especially those still dealing in the physical realities, trying to solve a spiritual problem. It's kind of stupid, I think, anyway. Yeah, if you want to solve a spiritual problem, you got to start thinking spiritual. Now, solving physical problems is easy. You just get physical with it. A piece of wood needs moved from here to there. You move it from here to there. Not a whole lot of spiritual testing going on there. Just a state of doing. Now, where do I want to begin? I had so many things I wanted to talk about. I want to mention, a great post again by Arthur Christian. For those that, and I often forget to mention Arthur, one of the few stalwarts that has stood in the same arena as myself regarding the name and the curse that it is. We don't meet completely eye to eye, but there is more than enough in what Arthur does to resonate. He's got some beautiful, beautiful information. I can take it a little deeper, and I'm sure he can take it deeper from his perspective too with some of the stuff I have. There's going to be a lot of that tonight, guys. So bear with me. The coughing, farting, spurting thing. Yeah. Anyway, I am feeling a little better. Let's just say I feel slightly better than yesterday, and that's a good thing. Okay, so there you go. I was able to join Mike on the Gaia Sophia show this morning for a bit. It was just nice to sit and tune in. And this is what actually inspired me to knuckle down and try to fortify as much as I could to get on the air tonight. Because I'm not letting this stuff slide. Guys, don't get wrapped up in personality conflicts with others. That's ego. You call a spade, and if the individual that you're saying scuba nose to can't look at you and simply say okay, maybe have a look and give themselves a wipe, that's just ego. That's why I do get tired of on occasion at this table defensive mechanisms kick in very quickly, and that's just ego. So just keep that in mind and be aware of it for yourself, because there's only so many times that someone can shout scuba nose until you actually get it for yourself. Otherwise, it's basically falling on deaf ears, and it's still an ego that's controlling you. And that is the tricky little bastard, and it is tricky. Sorry. Muted out there for half of that, but there you have it. Anyway, I can go across the board with, supposed truthers. Here's a good example of the shit I'm talking about. Toolsforfreedom.com is one of the filthiest fucking sites I've ever come across in terms of tools for freedom, knowledge is power, and it's all for sale. And apparently Mary Croft's book that she gave out freely, that you can download for free online, because Mary made it that way, just like me and Sivan and so many others. Bill Donahue made it free and available to all. These wankers are selling it for $26.95. Isn't that nice? So any of these sites, they have a contact us, so let them know that you want to profit on truth. Well, it's going to cost you 1,000-fold on the other side. So maybe stop doing that. So here's a great big shout out for toolsforfreedom.com and shill truth-selling bastards that you are. So there you go. There's my recommendation. Anyway, so it's kind of shit that pops across my computer on a daily basis. But like I said, I'm just tired of it, and it's time to call it out. You got all these truth seekers and truth preachers and all the rest of it they haven't got a clue as to what they're doing until they understand what the name is. Because while you're attached to the name, you're attached to the curse, and that means you're powerless. Okay? You're absolutely a slave. Even this which we're speaking is the language of the slaves. I'm gonna get into that as soon as I can get around to a couple of things that I want to accomplish in put together essay-wise and finish the other one off as well. I'm sorry, I've been a little bit out of it for the last few days. So, and yes, I've been taking it easy, and I haven't had much of a choice in that matter anyway. But there you go. One sec. Okay. Wow, this is the most I've talked all day. Actually, the most I've talked in 3 days, but there you go. Where are we? There was a bunch of things. Yeah, anyway, what Arthur Christian had posted regarding Santo Bonacci, I totally get it. And again, lose the personalities, guys. Quit getting caught up in the fucking dramas. oh, don't pick on. You're missing the point. You're not picking on the being. You're picking on the program. Are you going to get pissed off if I call your TV an asshole? Because that's all you're doing. A lot of these troopers are walking around with a fucking TV head on, and I'm calling it out for what it is. It's a program. In the guise of, These are powerful and potent spells we've been under for a long time, and we're coming out of it now. Woe betide the idiots that don't get this. It really is that simple. So don't preach to me about truth and about convenience of a driver's license. Well, I just have it because it's convenient. So saith, Max Egan. Well, Max, no, you will find every barrier in the physical realm because they were all placed there for you to run into. But the minute you remove the physical and become the true Sagittarius, the not see the physical, as in to see the spiritual, when you finally rise out of the beast and you can see beyond, just because you can't see it in the physical doesn't mean it isn't there. And I've used the example of infrared. Anybody catch notice of the infrared today or the ultraviolet? How about the X-rays and the gamma radiation? Anybody see all that? Oh, it's there. It's just, a few tools are required to get into those frequencies. Because remember, we're trapped in a very limited bandwidth of reality in these human bodies. 5 senses, right? I mean, this is the game of God being not God, and to the nth degree. But this is how you change your own realities. There was a great little. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, tell me this stuff isn't fun. I actually had it listed earlier. 1 sec. It's I haven't checked the garbage can in a few days, so I went to the bin to see what headlines I could transmute, and that's before it's news. The bin, I call it the fear porn garbage can. Where is it? There it is. 1,500-year-old Bible confirms that Jesus Christ was not crucified. Well, yeah, we know. Relax. Boy, they've been playing the backwards card all along, guys. Okay. Vatican in awe. Yeah, awe. Your power's all gone. Awe. Yeah. I need Bill Donahue to say God the way he does. God. That cracks me up. I love the latest one he just put up. Where is it? It's number 25, Change and the Waterman. It's on my Facebook page. I actually opened up a few spots. Managed to find some spam contacts in my friends list, and boy, it takes a while to go through that. You can scroll and scroll and scroll. But anyway, I freed up a few spots for anyone interested. Let me see. Yeah, this is so funny. Oh yeah. Boy, not making any money on this one. Again, got enough pop-ups? It's all about commerce. Uh-huh. Okay, where are we? Before it's news. By the Serpent. Much to the dismay of the Vatican, an approximately 1,500 to 2,000-year-old Bible was found in Turkey in the Ethnography Museum of Ankara. I love that, Ankara. Discovered and kept secret in the year 2000, the book contains the Gospel of Barnabas, a disciple of Christ, which shows that Jesus was not crucified, nor was he the Son of God, but a prophet. The book also calls Apostle Paul the impostor. The book also claims that Jesus ascended to heaven alive, and that Judas Iscariot was crucified in his place. Well, see, that ties together nice and neat the allegory of the mirrored opposites, the Christ and the Judas, right? And of course, the Judas has to be the one most trusted. And of course, you're living in a body. That is your Judas, your most trusted. Oh, the body would never steer you wrong. Try again. Okay? So the Christ consciousness is walking around in a Jewish body. So just roll that around your universe for a little bit and see how that feels. I love this. A report by the National says that the Bible was seized from a gang of smugglers in a Mediterranean area operation. The report states the gang was charged with smuggling antiquities, illegal